I have a dance school, 2 locations.
Wonderful.
We do 2.7 mil.
Congrats.
And thank you. I've been in 5 years in business, so aiming for 3 mil this year and at least 10 plus in the future. Constraint will be space, capacity, facility space.
Heard.
So, yeah.
Okay.
What would you like to know?
Well, is that just what's stopping you? Is just getting another location?
I could do, if I can get to 3 million this year, I'll be at probably 80% capacity running my
Okay.
core programs,
Okay.
right? Which is the key. I could add daytime. There's things I could do on the side,
I don't think
but it's
you
not
complicate
priority.
the model.
Right. So next step in scaling at that point is it additional locations or acquiring dance
Franchise.
studios?
Yeah.
I don't want to franchise. I think it's either acquiring studios that are already, that people want to retire from and buy them out and run their businesses and then sell the whole thing eventually, or ground up, organic, build from location.
So, do you want what you want to hear or the truth?
Both. No,
Well,
truth.
do you wanna-
I want the truth.
Do you want to exit?
Yes.
You said? Yeah.
100%.
So, and when you say, okay, what size exit?
At least 20 mil.
Yeah. So the fun fact for everyone here, the hardest amount of money to sell for is between 10 and 30 million.
Oh.
Because it's just not big enough for people who have real money, and it's too big for people who don't have real money.
Interesting.
And so, like, it's easier to get like $100 million deal done than it is to get a $25 million deal. $25 million deal is like the one of the hardest deals to get done because
Interesting.
it's somebody who usually has a way bigger checkbook and is just like really scraping down the bottom and doesn't really care because it barely moves the needle for them.
Interesting. Okay.
Just for context. Now, that being said, if you want to sell for more, the difficulty of selling your particular business is that it's so people driven, it's so
100%.
talent driven.
Yes.
And there haven't really been, to my standard, any super successful, high service based gym businesses. The closest one for a period was Orange Theory, and then they went to shit during COVID and never recovered. But like they were the closest ones.
Yeah.
And it's just because it's the talent. It's such a
is
service
that?
heavy business, and it's so reliant on the quality of the trainers, coaches, instructors, whatever you use, the word you use, right?
Same.
So selling it will be difficult. You would be able to sell it to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, for sure, but you're not going to get a huge amount of money for it. So some doctor who has no idea about business but think he does because he has money would buy it. But you're probably, like, you might get, it would be 10 with a bunch of hair on it and earn, clauses and a bunch of crap. So if you wanted to just do this forever, then I would say, like, just keep growing. That's amazing. That's fine. But most people make this work in a franchise model. Typically, I think, you can get gyms for free, studios for free. Like that, like that's not, it won't be hard for you to find, ballet, dance, et cetera, locations because so many people are in pain and don't want to run them. Like you could get them for free. That's how I expand. Like I got them for free. So the good news is the business is good. It's just, what is your expansion path?
Right.
So either M&A, de novo, meaning organic growth, you open it yourself, or you go from like a franchise path. The franchise and or licensing is for sure more sellable than those ones. And I don't normally give this advice. The issue is just that I understand the nature of the business obviously pretty well.
Exactly.
They're very hard to sell for a lot of money. You can offload them really easily because somebody else has a dream and thinks that they're going to make it work. It's like restaurants. Like you can sell them for nothing because somebody else is a cook and people tell them their cooking's good and they're like, oh, you should open a restaurant. Like, you love fitness, you should start it. Like that. It's very easy to get people to say yes. Not for a lot of money though. So my honest truth is, I think if you look at your current business model and say, how could I cut down the complexity by 80% and then franchise it? So I'll tell you a story. So the most successful fitness franchise right now is Alloy. They do semi-private training. Rick Mayo is a really good friend of mine. He had a $4 million a year single facility, and they had smoothie bar, merch, PT, semi-private, large group. They had everything, right? And when he went to franchise, he looked at revenue per square foot across all the business units and saw that semi-private was by far the highest revenue per square foot. So he had his 6,000 whatever square foot facility. He fired all of his clients except for his semi-private. It was still profitable with a 6,000 square foot lease. Opened up a pilot location with only the most profitable service that had 3 employees. one manager that does mornings and evenings and does sales, and then an assistant that does morning, and an assistant does evenings and works back up. And so with a 3-person model, does $500,000 or $600,000 a year, 50% margins, and you can just cookie cutter that thing. And so I think your instinct on the front end was stuff like, I could add all these things. I think is 100% right not to do that.
Not doing it.
And then look at your most profitable times, look at your most profitable pricing and packages, and then I would look at stripping this down to like, how could I get this to the fewest possible people who could run this so that I could open up, basically somebody else could do this.
Right.
And that's probably that is the most likely path to the goal that you have. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's the most likely path to where you want to go.
Yeah. And what about the licensing? You mentioned
Same,
that.
just
story?
different legal structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just being real. Like, I mean, you could obviously open more locations. Seems like you're competent. I say this as a compliment. But if you want the exit that you're looking for, like, I know a lot of people in the fitness world who have 5 locations, 10 locations. So few, like almost every one of them never sold the whole thing. I don't know one who sold the whole thing. Every one of them piecemealed it, one to a trainer, one to a customer, one to a competitor. They had to break the whole thing up when they got tired.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Thanks so much.
Cool. Yeah.
If you're a business owner and you're not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information. And if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team, and we will look at the business, see if we can help. And if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas, and we'll do this in person live.